Greetings! If my calculations are correct, you should be receiving this transmission in the year 2014 CE. It amuses me that you used to calculate your dates in relation to the life of an ancient man. You see, we use a slightly different time scale. But to make things simple, I am talking to you from the year 49,170 CE. So begins the continued measurement relating to our solar system cycle, which is somewhat irregular, but we try to fit into a box and make sense. We try to chop up our time of day. People obsessed with looking at their watches. Well, people don't use watches anymore, do they? They use their phones, which is dumb. Like, a watch is this simple little thing on your wrist, but people dig into their pocket or their bag and they pull out this phone. They have to turn it on, perhaps unlock it, and then they see the time. I think that's silly. Plus, they get cancer. Let's see. Every single day, I wake up excited. Like, really, I wake up and I'm like, wow, I get to be alive. Because sleeping is such a waste of time, and I get to be conscious. So every single day I wake up excited because I have a blank ticket to the future. I've been given this blank ticket every day. I can do whatever I want with it. I can throw away everything and walk away, which I'll probably end up doing at some point because I just have this giant ball and chain attached to my foot, which is all these physical belongings, which I'd love to rid myself of. I've been wanting to for years, but it's so troublesome because you gotta chop it up and sell little bits at a time, and you gotta price check things, and basically take a long time. But if I had started this project years ago, I'd be done by now. The problem is starting it and continuing it. But yeah, a blank ticket to the future. That's what I have today, every single day. So do you. You have a blank ticket. You can do whatever you want. Everybody thinks people shackle themselves in their own chains. But you don't have to be miserable. Like, I'm not miserable. I'm so happy to be alive. It's so easy to think like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then you end up just not. You end up being lazy and do the same junk you always do. It's easy to say, yeah, I'll go help that person, or I'll go volunteer, I'll donate money, but you don't end up doing it. You end up like normal cools end up just sitting there watching TV and getting fat and drinking alcohol and ingesting strange chemicals into their bodies. Something I got to get on within the next short period of time is programming. I've been wanting to do this for years, and I've tried to start twice, and I basically gave up within a week each time. But I think I can do it. I just got to keep on it. The it's easy to start, but then the next day rolls around, and I think about doing it, and it's like, dude, I don't want to jump on that horse, but I can do it. I want to learn some Python. Ideally, I want to learn some C, because C is how you make a Game Boy game, and Game Boy games are really the only thing I'm truly interested in getting to know as far as programming goes. Uh, I played some Golden Sun, like a few hours worth over the past week or so. What did I do? There was this martial arts guy taught me about chi and ki. There's chi, which is like a magical energy, and then ki, which is like a physical energy, and they're similar but different. And anyway, and then I went and there was these statues inside of a cave, and they used to be just statues, but then they came alive, and they were enemies, so I had to beat them, and everybody in that town was thankful. It was flooded when I got there, and when I left, no more water. And this past approximately 9 hours or so, or 12 hours, I've been wanting to play a roguelike. And there's a problem with wanting to play a roguelike because there are so many different roguelikes, and you got to pick one. So I've already narrowed it down to two lately in the past half a year. There's one called Tales of Maj'Eyal, and then there's another one called Shiren Mystery Dungeon, Shiren the Wanderer for Nintendo DS. And this is the first roguelike I ever played. It's a real roguelike because some people say roguelike and they don't know what they're talking about. I don't feel like explaining what that is in this video, perhaps on future video. But this roguelike is awesome. And what is the appeal of a roguelike? What's the deal with these? Well, for me, you start off with nothing, and you progress, and you play for however long, and you die. And from there, you start over. But you use the skills you gained every time you play. You improve, and you gain more skills, and you'll learn what this item does, what this scroll does, you know, what this NPC does. And every time you get better at the game. And when you die, you lose everything. Like, let's say you find a sweet sword. Dude, I killed all these guys with this cool sword, but then some kappa came out of the water and cut your head off. So you died, and you lose your sword. You lose all your healing items, etc., etc. But there's a system in the game which lets you store items at the cost of not being able to use them. So let's say I progress in the game a few levels and I find duplicates of a cool sword, or I know I'm gonna die, then I will deposit some of these useful items into this like bank, and I'll be able to use those in the future, in future runs. And they're one-time use things, so they're not always in there. And in these roguelike games, you start off fresh, and each time you play, it's something mostly new. I mean, there's similarities on each run, but yeah, it's randomly generated. The levels are randomly generated, so you can't memorize a path or a route. You gain skills and you create your own strategies. And like the point of a roguelike isn't to beat it; it's to play and to build skills and learn and to come up with your own unique ways of playing. So I've been wanting to play that this past day or so, and I started some Tales of Maj'Eyal. And basically that is really complicated. And I don't know the system really well. I haven't gotten into PC roguelikes as much, but I know Shiren. So I might pick this up in the next couple hours. So yeah, I need to simplify and do things from somewhere in time, somewhere on spaceship Earth.